Afternoon YouTubers. Well, still on the subject of Gibraltar, which is behind me. You can't quite see it out there, but it's quite windy today, and I want to be heard. There we go. Boom. Gibraltar. On the subject of Gibraltar, there's a film I've got here which is coming up next, which is a true story, based on a true story about Gibraltar during the Second World War. Now, Gibraltar was British, obviously still is. So when we were at war with Germany, then Gibraltar was at war with Germany. But Spain was neutral. And the Italian Special Forces, they rented a house overlooking Gibraltar. And they had divers, and the divers used to swim out from neutral territory, which is a big no-no really, because it's technically an act of war against that country if it's neutral. And they'd swim out and put explosives on the bottom of the British ships and blow them up. Now, this story is about Buster Crabbe, who was a clearance diver with the Royal Navy Reserve, RNVR, and he was taking the explosives off the bottom of the ships, and obviously some blew up and some didn't. And it was based on a true story, and it turned out the end of the film is not quite right, because the Italians had a ship which was in Algeciras there, which was the base for these torpedoes and the divers. They called them chariots, and they'd come across the bay and they'd put explosives on the ships and they'd go back to Algeciras. Now in the film, at the end of the film, Buster Crabbe discovers the enemy base and he goes over there and blows it up, which would be an act of war, of course, blowing things up in neutral Spain during the war. That never happened, but it makes for a good story, so long as you know that the film is based, therefore, on a true story, not actually a true story, because they didn't discover the Altera until after the war, and it was the Spanish that discovered it anyway. So, hope you enjoy it. Nevertheless, it's a really good film, and it's, like I say, it's based on a true story, and it gives proper events and things that did actually happen here in Gibraltar. Hope you enjoy it.
The two battleships Queen Elizabeth and Valiant were sunk in Alexandria harbour by 6 men of the Italian 10th Flotilla. They came from a submarine, but the underwater weapons that they used were new. Human torpedoes, chariots. Each was ridden by 2 divers, and each carried an explosive warhead, which was detached from the bows and slung by wires under the hull of the target ship. Those chariots have altered the naval balance of power in the Mediterranean. They may yet alter the course of this war. Already they've chosen their next target. Ourselves. Gibraltar, gentlemen. The gateway. Whether we like it or not, we're the gateway to the Mediterranean. If the enemy shuts us down, Malta is isolated. So is Alexandria. The 8th Army loses its supply route, we lose North Africa. So we've got to keep open. It's as simple as that. In war, most gateways have a lock on them. A lock called security. We haven't. That's the difference. Let me show you. Over there in Algeciras, gentlemen, someone is watching us. We call him the duty spy. He sits there 4 miles across the bay in the neutral country of Spain, and he watches everything that happens on this rock. He's watching us at this window. He watches your ships as they enter and leave the bay. Any questions?
But how, sir? Where from?
The enemy has consulates in Algeciras. Luckily, so have we.
You mean their agents over there tell the subs when a convoy arrives and their boys attack it here?
Exactly.
And the sooner we're on our way to Malta, the better.
Algeciras isn't their only source of information. You see that airstrip down there? Just beyond it is the Spanish frontier. Every morning, thousands of men come down that road across the border to work in the dockyard here. Every evening, they go back again into Spain. We do everything we can to screen them, but it's a pretty hopeless task.
Thank heavens we're only here for a few nights.
Well, gentlemen, now at least you know the picture. You're anchored up here. Here's an anti-submarine net. We shall do everything we can to protect you, but it's essential you order a sharp lookout to be kept all night. Any questions? Yes, sir. Right, now let's get down to detail. There's one thing on Gibraltar, we do get a regular airmail from home. We also get the occasional bright boy from London to tell us how to run the war. There's probably a Whitehall warrior on this one.